As you can see, if we quickly run our app, you will discover that even though we have created our login users and we have logged into this app so many times, but it still sends us to the login page and it's quite annoying. So let's quickly take care of that before we continue with building our top bar navigation, which is why we're here. Top bar and bottom navigation, which is why we were making this video. As you can see now, this is our app and this is our main page. This is what our main page looks like. But if I rerun this app now, you see that it will still take us back to the login page. So as you can see, it takes us to the login page, which is very annoying. So let's sort that out, then we can continue building our main or home page per se. So we'll have to go to the splash screen. So here in the splash screen, we have to determine if the user have already logged in for the first time. So after the delay, which is this place now, let us check if the user is already authenticated. Then from there, we can now know if the user is authenticated, then they can persist instead of sending them back to the login page. So here we'll call Firebase auth, which is this one, dot get instance. So that's the instance of the user. So then current user, and this is going to be nullable dot email. The user is authenticated using the email and password, so it's null or empty. What do? So we use a lambda to send the user to the login screen if it's empty, if they are not authenticated yet. So we'll call our nav controller dot navigate, which is the one with the route down here. So we'll call our meditation screen dot login screen dot name. So, or if the user is already authenticated, then the user should be sent to the main screen. Let's quickly check that out and see if we're able to achieve that. So right here you see our user, because I've logged in before, now our user is sent to the main screen no matter how many times we relaunch the app. So that is sorted and out of the way. So we'll close this down to keep our tabs clean. Now, because we're using clean architecture, this is exactly what we're trying to achieve here. Create a top app bar like this and a drop down menu like this that the user can click and it takes them to other parts of our app, and also have some main content section, then as well have a floating action button here which the user can use to perform some action, and also a bottom menu like this that can take the user to different pages of our app. See, this takes us to the profile page, and also this takes us to the about us page, and also this will take us to the settings page. So how we're going to implement this and exchange this screen with our bottom navigation and also create this top app bar. So let's get started with creating our reusable widget, because as you can see from this top app bar, the text or the title of the top app bar changes according to the screen. So these are why we need to create these app widgets that are reusable to maintain consistency across our app according to material 3, so that our users won't have issues thinking that they have gone into a different app because we keep recreating the UI. So you see about us page, you see it takes us to the settings page. So that's all we're going to do in this video. So I hope you have seen the other part of the video, the other sections that we've already done. And if you have not, I encourage you to go and look them up. There is a lot to learn from this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, I also encourage you to subscribe, because it helps us to create more of this kind of videos for you. So let's start creating our app widgets. I'll open that up. Then under here, let me put it up here. So down here, let's create a composable, and we're going to call this is going to be, I'll call this general top bar. So let's call it's going to be fun. So on this general top bar is going to have some parameters which we're going to use later on in our development. So this is going to be a string, and as well we'll also have an icon. So after that, we're going to set some parameters. We'll call our top app bar. So top app bar, we need a title for our top app bar, and it's a lambda. So here we use a test. So, and that test is going to be set to our title up there. So we'll have our navigation icon. All these are parameters of the top app bar from material 3. So as you can see from here in the documentation, you always see the title, the navigation icon, action. So these are the things we're trying to populate. So and this is still in the experimental phase. So we're going to opt in for this experimental material 3 API. So to take away that error, so that's gone now. So in this place now, we're going to use an icon button. So this is specifically for the back arrow, like to send the user back to where the initial page they were on before they came. So this is going to, you're going to see this in action by the time we use action icon button. So you're going to see this in action when we start reusing this top app bar in other part of our app. So don't worry about that for now. So that is why we're going to just set this to icon. We're going to leave this temporarily for now. We're going to add some other components, which is we're going to set a condition. Say if icon is not equal to null, what happens? So we say that icon, the one with image vector, set that to our whatever icon we have selected for that particular purpose. So it can be the logo of your business, if you're building the app for a business, whatever. So but here we'll set it to icon so that we can reuse it later and set it to whatever. So I will put the content description, just call this arrow back, because this is what is going to be for most of the pages. So then down here we'll add a modifier to make it clickable. So the modifier. So what are we going to do here with the same action of, say, on our arrow back pressed, so dot invoke, so that it will just take us back to the original, the page the person was, or the user was, before they came forward. So just take them just one page back. Okay, so after that, the navigation icon, we're going to set our actions, and our actions is going to be a lambda as well. And in this lambda, so this action is going to take care of this menu, drop down menu here. Once the user clicks on this, it needs to expand. So we're going to set a variable for that, and we're going to put the variable up here. It's going to be var expanded. Let's call that expanded. Oh, var is fine. Is equal to remember, or expanded by remember. Let's use that. So it's going to be mutable state of, and we'll set that to false. So the false means that it should be always, so it should be closed all the time, so until the user clicks on it. So that is why we'll set it to false. So we have imported everything. So down here, what we're going to do is we're going to call icon button. The on click is we're going to say whatever the state is, we should reverse it once the user clicks on it. So if it's open, it should be closed once the user click on it. So that is what we've just done here. So that's the action that we want once the user clicks on it. After that, we're going to set what icon is going to be displayed for the user to perform the action that we've just stated above. So I don't know why it keeps bringing this redundant library. So the image vector, we're going to use icons.default.moveat. So it's this one, moveat here. So then this is going to be the content description. We'll put that to be more options, because it's going to give us more options to more pages of our app. So that is done now. The next thing is to create the menus that is going to be shown. So we have created this now. Let's go to our main activity. Well, not our main activity, our meditation app main. So this is where we're going to call our top app bar, so that we can see what we have done in action. We're going to layer this out with a scaffold. So right here in our scaffold parameter, we're going to pass the top app bar, and it's going to be a lambda. So, and in that lambda, we'll call our general top app bar, and our title is going to be meditation app. That's all we need here for now. So down here, we need to set some padding. Let me just create a surface we're going to use to style our main content. So main content goes here, and use modifier to set the padding. So here we're going to call inner padding. We'll call modifier here dot padding. So inner padding like this. So all the errors are gone now. So let's quickly give our app a run and see. So as you can see now, we'll have our top app bar here, and we'll have the more VAT here. And if we click on it now, it's responsive, but because we've not created the drop down menu, we can't see anything now. So let's quickly do that as we go. Let's go back to our app widget and create our drop down menus. So to create our drop down menus, we're going to call drop down menu down here. So we'll call our drop down menu down here. So here, expanded will still be expanded. So whatever, when it's expanded, it should give us the menu. Okay. So then on dismiss request, once it's closed, maybe the user clicks on any other place in our app, what do we want to happen? So on dismiss request, we want the expanded wherever the user closed to be false. So we'll set that to false, right? So once the user clicks on any other place in our app, you should close the drop down immediately. Then after that, we will need to set our drop down menu item, which we are going to call now. So our test for the drop down menu, for the first one, let's call it profile, right? So this is the first thing, the first link they will have. So on click, what happens? This is where we determine where we'll set our nav controller to send them to the say profile screener, for instance. So we'll leave that like that for now, because this is just a dummy menu that we're using to demonstrate. We'll copy this so that we'll duplicate this. Let's use duplicate it like 3 places, 4 places. Okay, so the first one is profile. The second one should be, let's call it about us. Then the fourth one should be, let's call this one settings, and call this one privacy policy, for instance. So these are, you can just make your own the way you want it. This is just to demonstrate how we can achieve this. So right now, I guess we'll have something. Let's give it a quick run and see. So as you can see, now our menus are showing, the menu we've created here. So now that we've finished with our top app bar, let's create the floating action button as well. So we'll use a composable, another composable. We'll call this, it's going to be fun. Then let's call this FAB tab. Yeah, so, and it's going to have the on tap parameter on top, so that once the user tab, what action do we want the user to do? So when the user click the floating action button, whatever task you want them to perform, then you can put that here. So this is going to be, you set this to unit, then down here we're going to call floating action button API, so which is this one, and here the on click is where you decide where you want to send the user to once they click on it. So then we need to add some other stuff here, which is the shape. What shape do we want our floating action button to take? So I think I'm in the wrong place. Okay, so shape. Yeah, so this, we want it to be a circle shape. So, and after that, let's set some colors for our floating. So the container color, we're going to use material theme dot color scheme dot background. We want it to take the background color for the container. So, and after that, let's put an icon here. So let's take, for instance, we want them to search something in our app, something they need to search out. Then our icon, sorry, let me import the right icon, the one image vector. Okay, so it keeps getting this. Let's cut that out. Okay, so here our icon, let's use icons dot field dot, let's look for search. Okay, so search, so that means they're going to search for something, right? So that's done. So let's add a tint to our icon really quick. Okay, so add a tint, and we'll set that tint material theme dot color scheme dot on background. So whatever our background is, it should make it faint a little bit. So that's our floating action button done. So now we can go back to our main page and still call that. So just add a comma here. No, in the wrong place. The comma after the top app bar. So here we call floating action button here, call FAB tab. Yeah, so that's the one. So it's going to be empty, so there's nothing much to do with that for now. So let's give it a quick run again and see what we have done so far. So as you can see, we have our floating action button nicely here. So that is the power of scaffold. Scaffold will help you align your items properly on your screens. So let's move on and create our bottom menu now, because we've done this, it's working, and this is working as well. Let's close this down and go back to our app widget. So let's quickly create a bottom navigation that we can use to navigate to different screens. Firstly, we'll create some bottom navigation items. We're going to create the icons and the title of our menus that we're going to use to navigate the user, take the user to different screens. And let's start with creating a sealed class. Let's call it bottom nav icon. Items. Here, this bottom nav items is going to have some parameters. The first one is our title. which is going to be a string. Then again, we're going to use field icon and outline icon to determine which one is active, which of the pages are active. So you see that in a minute. So we'll call this field icon, and this is going to be an image vector, and again another variable which is going to be our outline icon, and it's going to be image vector as well. After that, we're going to have a route that is going to help us locate our screen. You remember when we created our navigation controller, which we're going to use to switch between screens. So this is going to come in handy. That is why if you set up your app structure, the architecture of your app very well, you'll be able to achieve a lot of things in a short while. So down here, we're going to create some objects. These objects are the icons and the title. We're going to make the objects here. So these objects, the first one is going to be home, which is going to be our home screen, and we'll call bottom nav items. And down here, the title is home. After the title, let's set the icons. So icons.field, that is the first one. That is when it's active. You should select the field. So this one is going to be the home icon, the field one. So then let's set the icon when it is not active, which is going to be the outlined icon. So let's call outlined icon dot home again. Then after that, we're going to navigate to our screen once this is selected, and we'll do that by calling our meditation screen dot main, which is our home dot name. So you see how simple that is. So these objects are going to be the route we're going to use to locate the screen and determine which screen the user is on, and the next one they'll move to. So I'll copy this so that I don't bore you with these duplicates. Well, it seems we have not created the profile screen yet. Let's quickly go to our meditation screens. So we'll have main screen, which is our home. We'll have about screen, we'll have settings screen. So here, let's create the profile screen so that everything will be in sync. So down here, we'll need to add that up as well. So now we'll be able to find that even though we've not created the composable, that's going to be this profile screen, but let's just continue this. We'll create that at the end. So that is our shield class is completed. Let's close this up to have some more space. So this is our shield class completed. Okay. So to give it some breathing space, then after that, we're going to create a composable where we're going to use this shield class. Let's call it bottom navigation bar. Give it a befitting name. The parameter is going to be nav controller. Then that is done. Then down here, let's create a list of variables, a list of the route which we are going to use to locate our screens. So that's going to be var, and we'll call it items equal to list of. So here we're going to create an array of those screens, the 4 screens that we'll have up here. So this is our list. Then here we're going to query the list that we've created in the navigation bar, which we're going to call now. So under this, we're going to call navigation bar. So if you are building for a larger screen, you can use navigation rail so that you set the menu on the right. Like you can see in this IDE, this menu you see here will be achieved with the navigation rail. So down here, we're going to select this one, and inside here, we'll create some variables too, so that we can switch easily between our screens, the routes that we've created. So we're going to create another var which we'll call nav backstack. So it's going to be nav backstack and we'll call nav controller, assign that nav controller dot current backstack entry as state. That's the one we need. So then down here, we'll create another var which we'll call current route. So it's going to be our current route. So we're going to assign that to our navback stack entry dot value, whatever value we are on. So, and that is going to be nullable then to the destination that we are currently on. Then that is also nullable then the route that we've created. After that, we're going to look through all these routes to make sure the user is on the right place. Now we're going to call items dot for each. Let's call this item. We're going to create another var which we'll call is selected to determine which menu the user have already selected. Current route is equal to item.route. So whatever one they selected, they should choose that route, which is one of these screens that we have selected here. Okay, so after that, we'll call navigation bar item, this one, so that will populate our items. So now the first one, the selected, is now the variable just created, which is selected. Then on click, we want to take the user to that screen that they have just selected. So the on click is going to be, we'll set a condition here, which is going to be if is selected. That is, if is selected is not true, we inverse it. If it's not true, then we have to navigate the user to, we'll call nav controller dot navigate, then set the item dot route. So to take the user to the route which they have selected. So if the user selects home, it should take the user to home. If you select profile, it should take the user to profile. It seems we've not called this yet, though I made a mistake. I called home here again. I think everything is fine now. So now in our icon, we're also going to select the icon, whatever icon that's a route where the position where the user is, these icons that we've selected here. So let's also set that down here. So icon, the one image vector. So we're going to set a condition as well. If is selected is true, then you select the item dot field icon, so which is the field icon to show that that particular destination is active. So but else item dot outline icon, so you see, so that you can select the right icon once it's selected. So in our description here, we're going to just select item, whatever title the item has, which is these titles that we'll set here. So item dot title. So with that, this is our bottom navigation. We have done that. So let's go back to our main screen and call our bottom navigation and see how it appears in action. So down here, I think this is here. So add a comma down here and we'll call bottom navigation bar, and it's going to be a lambda. So bottom navigation bar, and we'll assign this to nav controller, and that's it. So let's go and quickly give it a run and check if we can see those screens. But I know we haven't created the profile screen, so that might crash our app. But let's see. You see, our menu is nice and clean. So this one is the main menu, and this is active. You see, it's filled up. So, and this is the profile page we have now created. So if you click on this, it's going to crash it and show us another app, the other app. So you see, this is about us, right? But as you can see, once you navigate to a different page, the menu and the top bar disappear, which is what we're going to tackle next when we sort the profile page. When we sort that out, then we'll try to revamp this so that we can still see our menu. Our menu will be persistent across all the pages, the major pages. So let's quickly do that, and let's sort that icon. So here, the profile, I didn't change this to profile. So this is going to be person, the person icon here. So this is the person icon. Now, let's create those screens that we're going to see. And once we create them, we can create the bottom menu and the top app bar as well, so that they will be all consistent across our pages. So first of all, let me create another package here. This package is going to be our profile package, because by the time we start populating it, all this package is going to have their own view model, which we're going to use to pass the data in the future. So that is why we're doing it this way. I know it's tedious, but it's just to make our work easier in the future. So here we're going to call this profile screen. We've done this before. So yeah, add it to Git here. Okay, we'll create a composable one. It's going to be fun, and we'll call this profile screen. We're going to call nav controller here as well. Don't forget that, so that I'll be able to locate our screen. So now we've done that quickly. Then let's go to our navigation screen, which is this one, and create the profile composable. So this is, let's copy this, just copy this and duplicate this quickly and edit that. So this is going to be profile screen. So now our app will not crash. Let's quickly give it a run so that you see that error will go away. So on that profile screen, we've not added anything, but at least the icon will show and other things will show the way they are supposed to. So as you can see, our icon is here now. So if I click on this, it's not going to crash the app. Yeah, but it's blank because there's nothing on that page yet. So if we go back, click on the about us has something, then settings, let's set up. So all these other pages have something. So if we go back again, this is our main page. We'll have our top app bar with some drop down menu, and we'll have the search floating action button here, and our bottom menu, and it's nice, isn't it? So let's quickly do the last touch. Just let's add some UI elements on these pages so that we can easily switch between each one. Okay, so and we'll do that. Our profile screen is open, so we're done with these guys. Let's close them up. Then let's open about here, and let's open settings, right? So these are the 4 pages here. This profile, about, settings, and this is the main page. So what we need to do, it's not big deal. We'll just copy this, everything here. We'll just copy it and paste in all the screens. That is what we're going to do here now. And so that I don't bore you with typing all these codes. So this is it. So here, we'll just add that. So then in each of them, we'll just change this title. This is where we profile screen. So we'll just call this profile as the title. So we don't need the floating action button. So we'll cut this out, and the bottom navigation is fine. So let's just add a text here like the others. It will tell us where we are as well, even though it's on the title. So the text will say, welcome to your profile. Then about us page, we don't need the floating action button as well. We only want the floating action button on the main page. So that's why we're taking that out. So right here, we'll add a text. Okay. So that's about us done. Then the settings, we don't need the floating action button as well. We'll take that out. and we'll add another test here, keep one. So I think that's it. Now everything should be all right. So let's give it a quick run and see if we're able to achieve that. So this is our meditation app. Our menu is still functional, still clickable. Then let's go to profile page. You see, so profile, you see the title I've changed to profile. That's why reusable UI is very good and important. And our menu is still visible here, but no floating action bar. So then more learn about us, you see. So every other thing, this is where your main content will exist on this app. And as well, our settings, let's set up. So we're on the settings. Oh, I forgot to change the title in these other pages. I changed for profile, I didn't change for about. So for the last time, let's give it another go and finish up quickly. Okay, so this is settings and this is about us. So let's give it the final run. Yeah, this is our profile. The title is saying about us, this is about us, and this is settings. So I know I promised you just before that this is going to be the last change we're going to make, but we need to constantly test our app and find out things that are not working and make improvements. That's why regular updates are necessary. So I discovered that the menu, the bottom menu, as you can see on the icons here, they don't have a label or a title per se to tell the user what page they are going to, because sometimes people might not recognize the icon for what it really is. So we're going to do that, and we'll do that simply by just calling label here and adding that. So it's going to be a lambda, then we use test and we'll call item dot title here. That will give us the title we need for our icons. You see that quickly now. So can you see home, profile, about, and settings? So that's the best way and the standard way to implement your bottom navigation. So another thing I discovered is that in the start of this video, we kept the user logged in once they have logged in before, and it seems like we were stuck here with one user. We can't log out or create a new account. So let's quickly take care of that. I didn't want to take much of your time, so right here I've added the nav controller here. So let me add another drop down menu here so that we can use that to achieve that. So this is going to be log out. On click, we're going to use Firebase to sign them out. And first of all, we're going to call Firebase auth. Firebase auth dot get instance dot sign out dot run. So this is going to be the Firebase authentication to get the instance of the user that is already logged in, then sign them out. So once they are signed out, what do you want to do? We'll call nav controller dot navigate. We'll call meditation screen dot login screen dot name. With this, once the user is signed out, they should send them back to the login screen. So let's give that a quick run and see. So let's check that out. We can log out our user. So you see that's working now. We can log in and log out our user as we wish. So with that, this is a basic app for you to build on and also improve. Just the basic functionalities have been implemented here. So I'll urge you to take on it and improve it to whatever you want it to be. Okay. Finally, if you have followed this demonstration to this point, I will say you are a real MVP and you are the reason why we're doing this. If you're starting out, I will encourage you to keep learning and practicing, and you'll get better over time. But if this is just a refresher for you, I will say well done. So next up, we're going to demonstrate how you can consume data from an API on your mobile app. And if you want to follow through on that, I will encourage you to subscribe if you have not, and also like and share with your friends so that you can see these videos when they are sent. Okay? Then if you want me to demonstrate any aspect of Android development, then you're also welcome to do that, and I will encourage you to put that on the comment section below, and I will attend to that as soon as I have the time. So until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep being amazing. I will see you again.